Hello guys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my Crash Team Racing Nitro Field 100% walkthrough with Dingodile. In the last video, we completed Adventure Mode, 101% completed. So with that finally done, we can move on to the local arcade mode instead. We're going to be doing Cup Race, and we're going to be doing every single cup in here, complete, including the bonus cups as well. So we're going to be starting with the Wampa Cup, and we're going to be doing all of these on easy mode this time because I had lots of problems the last time I did the cups. Like the last time I tried hard mode, it was pretty difficult, so I'll set it to medium and maybe do a medium run later for fun, but for now we're just gonna stick with easy, and we're gonna stick with the same characters that we've had before, but this time around I did unlock a few characters that we could potentially try out. I, however, am going to be sticking with my favorite though, Dingodile. We are going to change his skin this time to Panda. I like it. The Panda one looks cute, so we'll get that one. And there we go. As for stickers, we're gonna go with some of our new ones that we have. So I'm gonna choose my Dingodile sticker there, which will put a sticker on the track, and you can also change your stuff, paint, and a bunch of other stuff. So, as you might have guessed, since we unlocked a bunch of stuff this time, we are going to customize our cart this time around. I'm going to go with the platinum one, of course, because that's the best one possible. For wheels, we'll go with, how about Beanox wheels? That looks cute. And then for the carts, we're going to go with, ooh, there's lots of different ones here. You know what? I'm going to put them in Team Oxide's car there and put the decals as fast lanes. Yeah, so fast lane decals and bodies. And there we go. So we have our special item. We're going to go with the classic style, or at least whatever style it prefers, so we are going to still stick with speed, and this is what we're going to be using for every single cup in the game. So with that finally set up, let's begin. We are doing all the cups, and when I mean all cups, every single cup, including the bonus tracks, so let's hope we can do really well. We set the difficulty to easy just to make it a little less painful because, like I mentioned, some of the courses I'm going to be doing are I'm going to be completely blind for, meaning I have no idea how to go around these courses. This is where the blind playthrough part that I mentioned may end up coming into play here. And I'm doing this first instead of the time trials, pretty obviously, because I want to learn the tracks first and how to get around them, and then later I will figure out how to do stuff. I will try my best not to restart only if I need to, because I do want to do my best here. So, obviously, lots of things change when you play on the regular mode. In fact, you'll hardly ever see the initial racers like we did before. Before, there would be lots of crazy racers before, but now you can pretty much get whatever many racers you want. That's actually Hunter, by the way, one of the characters I'm racing against. So you can pretty much get any racer you want, and there's some cool effects depending on which racer you get. And yeah, so Hunter's apparently one of the racers you can race against. When I mentioned Spyro and all of his drivers were coming, I mean that is true, so yeah. If that isn't already crazy enough, Hunter is definitely a playable character in this game. Like, when I mentioned there was a lot of characters, I mean there's lots of characters. Whenever you play the cup race, you're pretty much gonna get completely different characters every time, so it's gonna be really fun, nonetheless. Again, I'm playing on easy just so that I don't have pain going through all the tracks, because in case you already didn't notice, it's kind of hard to go through this really good if I don't know what to do, so I'm mostly playing on easy just to give myself a leeway this time. I said I wouldn't do it before, though I technically kind of did it, because when I played on classic mode, that was technically easy mode, but with normal kind of mixed in there once in a while. Some courses were still pretty difficult though, even on easy, but I've figured out ways around that though. This first part will probably be really boring though, just a little warning, because it's these same tracks as before. The one thing that will be different is, since we're no longer playing on classic mode, we can use whichever decal we want, so I decided to customize my cart to the best of my abilities, and this is what I'm going to be using for the next few tracks or so. I think it's a really good customization. Too bad I can't get more because I'm not having all the stuff unlocked, but the Binox tires alone, I think, make for a very good customization, so it'll be okay for now. Yeah. By the way, I probably should have mentioned this. Since there's lots of characters in the game, I have a question for all of the viewers. What is your favorite character in this game and why? I haven't really been able to pick much because I don't have many characters unlocked, but I still think Dingodile's my favorite, at least if I was going to pick originally. If I had to pick someone else, it'd probably just be Spyro then, because of my memories playing Spyro Year of the Dragon so much on the PlayStation 1. But other than that, I think Dingodile's my favorite just because I like the way he talks, and he's one of the original 8, so it's one of the better characters for sure. I also like this skin as well, but you probably will have a different idea, so yeah. Also, I think that person in second place is actually one of the girls I mentioned. I mentioned that the fangirls that normally approach you at the end of the original game, whenever you get a cup, they would momentarily flirt to you by opening their umbrella in front of you as a little cute animation that would play whenever you decide to play like, well, actually, wait, yeah, that's correct. And you would get a different girl based off of which character you play too, so Dingodile would have a different lady come out for him than Crash and Coco do. Well, in case you didn't already notice, they are actually playable characters in this game. Tana is also included as well, so that's where they ended up, in case you didn't already know. Fortunately, there's not really much an easy way to collect cars, because the only way to really collect them is to earn Wampa coins by racing over and over and over and over again and earning coins to buy new characters. I'm obviously going to unlock all of the new characters first before doing any of their skins, because I think that's probably going to be my best idea, because then it'll give my friends more options, which is definitely really fun. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing much else to say here. I'm glad I picked the Binox wheels. These are some of my favorite wheels here. Okay, I'm not gonna go for the secret on Blizzard buff this time around, because the last time I did that, that was a not fun thing. Because you pretty much need to have a perfect drift plus a boost in order to do it really well. I could still go for that, but everything else is gonna be kind of slow. Doesn't help that I'm not even boosting right. With the Beanox wheels especially, it's hard to tell whether your fire is ready or not. Oh wait, never mind. The fire is still normal. That's just a tire effect. But yeah. Of course, if I was doing online, I probably would have to go for the shortcuts in order to win. Okay, I think I could go for it now. You can tell whether or not you could go for it based off of the fire. So that was similar to what happened last time. The thing, I thought that I made it, but I did not. Gosh, the timing that you have, timing on that jump is so precise. In case I didn't already say that from a previous video in adventure mode, that jump on that is just so precise, and it's not really worth much, but it's also so good because it cuts out about 5 seconds of the race, because you would have to go on a long turn otherwise, but it's also one of the toughest shortcuts in the game. If I was playing on the original mode, it would not be a challenge at all. I could probably go for that much more consistently. Now to fill in the other races that we weren't able to play really well, I've decided that I'm going to be playing those races to full extent completion while doing other stuff. I may play a race in single race mode as well, if it is not included in the cup race. But for now, we're just going to stick with all the cups, because I think that'll be good enough. I feel like having more customizations opens up my friends to a lot more possibilities. Also, I noticed that one of the characters I got was lab assistant. My apologies, but I think that's probably the worst character in the game right there, just in terms of looks. I do not like him at all. I was hoping to get Spyro or someone from, like, maybe the Sand trilogy, but nope. Again, Coco Park out of all the tracks is so wide that it's probably the easiest track to hold the boost trick that I mentioned earlier, where you play perfectly enough to just keep a boost going for the entire track. And from the looks of it, the best strategy of going through this is to do good followed by 2 perfects, because if you go too long, look at that, I lapped some of the racers on Coco Park, one of the shortest tracks as well. That's a good sign that I did really well if I was able to lap the racers, because if you get hit quite a bit, you usually don't lap them. That's also another advantage of being a speed character, is you lap all of the racers most of the time, and it's really funny to see you go so far ahead of them all. So yeah, you have to do all of the cup races on all 3 difficulties. So I'm assuming the 3 stars is for all 3 cup difficulties. So yeah, I was right. I believe we will have to do all the cups at all difficulties. The hard mode, of course, is going to be much more difficult, because everyone's going to be much farther ahead this time around. Dingo, dingo, dingo. So, because we're playing a cup race, we get to see some new losing animations on the side as we play around, which is really cool. I like that. You get to see characters that you wouldn't be able to see normally. Now, to figure out whether or not I have to change or not. Oh, yep, I do. Okay, so bronze is easy. silver is probably medium, and the gold one is for hard, so yeah, we're gonna have to do this on all difficulties. Now, once you pick one specific option, the game will keep your settings from the previous settings, regardless of what happens, so don't worry, things will still be done. I like how they did it like that you still have to do the cups on all the difficulties. It's not going to be fun for me, though, because when hard mode comes around, it's going to be pretty painful. If you already remember how painful that was in the beginning, then it's probably going to be more painful here, but I'll try my best. I have to win at least 3 races to go on, but yeah. It's pretty much like the setup before, only I can't mess up on any of the turns. I have to play pretty much flawlessly to stand a chance at beating them. Polar's in the race. That's also the second time we've gotten Hunter. Hunter really wants to stick around. I like him. Hunter's one of the better characters too. He's one of my favorites from Spyro since, like I said, I played Spyro Year the Dragon so much. So he's definitely one of the best characters there. It's really fun to play around with. So yeah, definitely a fun one. Again, another reason why I play on easy. Oh, there's Cortex there as well, in a very funny looking skin as well. That's nice. So we have a couple of the original drivers in this race this time around, which is really cool. A little bit more of a balance this time around. Of course, with all the different skins, it's not very likely that we'll get any of the racer. Okay. Of course, with all the racers going around the track with so many different ones and everything, there's probably a very low chance of getting literally everyone in their basic outfit. Like, I imagine the chances of that happening are slim to none, so you pretty much have to play classic mode if you want that. Of course, if you're playing on the original game, then everyone already had one skin to begin with, so it wouldn't really change much. So I like how in this game there's pretty much a different set of characters every time you play, which I like a lot. It lets you see skins and characters that you wouldn't be able to see if you, unless you bought extra stuff with your money, because obviously you could get Wampa coins from the shop to then use in the game to do other stuff. And I'm guessing that's the microtransaction that everyone was talking about. Personally, I don't mind it because you don't actually need to use it at all. You could just race a bunch of times and get it. So, I'm honestly not sure why they added it in anymore, but hey, it is what it is. It's a decision that I can't back out on, so we have to continue on, nonetheless. Races are going very well so far because I'm on the easy part where I'm doing all of the tracks I've already done, so it won't really be that difficult until we get to some of the blind courses. Then it's going to get a lot more difficult because I'm going to not know what turn is coming up. I'm not going to know whether to jump right or others in a specific spot. At the least, I will at least have my brake drift at the ready, so I can use that if I need it. But for the most part, I'm not going to use it as little as I can. Oh yeah, the RG will be even more gruesome on hard as well, to mention a couple of things, like the missiles are more likely to happen on hard than on easy. Okay, nice, we got the trick this time around. I feel like they improved this turn a lot for Dingodile. Previously, speed characters would have a lot of trouble getting around this turn in the original game, but they fixed that a lot in this game, and I like that. Now, in a previous video, I said Pepu's Pyramid is one of the easiest tricks to beat the CPUs in. That's because the CPUs never do tricks, and there's 2 big skips in this level that save a ton of time, which I am doing the best I can at, because if you get both of them, you save a ton of time. That was almost scary. Of course, you need speed to do both of them. But yeah. It's too bad. If I would have gotten that, I would have lapped them, but it doesn't really matter. I'm more interested in winning, and I think 3 out of 3 on the first shortcut and 2 out of 3 on that shortcut is really good. I would have preferred it the other way around, but then, yeah. I don't think I even got the first shortcut at all the last time I did it. I think I just bailed out on it and went on the lower part all 3 times. But I got the other shortcut 3 times, so I don't know. Still, because of reasons like that, this is why it's one of the easiest tracks in the game, because the CPUs never do the jump, so you'll always be very far ahead, assuming you do the correct drifts, which I did not do that time, but if you were to have a drift going, you can make it over that gap, which is really cool. Drifts are needed to do a lot of things in this game, so yeah, definitely something that has to be learned. Back to Cortex Castle. Cortex is actually in this race as well. He was absent the last time, but he's here now. Oh, and Lab Assistant is here as well. Lab Assistant is, like I said, one of the newest characters that I unlocked, and he's actually present a couple of times on this course as well, which is really nice, yes. I guess I didn't see him because he was in the back, so yeah. That'll happen sometimes. Okay, we're gonna have to skip this. If you're really good, you can tell whether or not, based off of the drift you get. If you don't get a drift boost heading up to that point, then you know that it's a good idea to skip that turn, because otherwise you're just gonna mess up tons. I will say I am glad that I locked Emperor Velo as a character. That's probably one of the best characters I locked, being able to play as the boss of C and K, the final boss of Crash Nitro Kart. I think that's a really nice thing, in my opinion. Okay. See, if I don't get that, then I will know when to bail out or not. Actually don't mind losing it there. It's been nice to keep it farther, but it's still good. I think I can see him going, by the way. Oh, see, there he goes. Ripperoo just went flying by. Probably couldn't see it. I didn't see it because I was too busy on racing, but if you're really far ahead at a specific point, you can see the racers going down that last gap. that time we went at the wrong angle there. Nice. So we should be able to do 4, maybe 3 cups per race, and if we're quick, maybe all of them. If so, that'd be really good, because then I can rest assured knowing that I can do whichever race I want. Nobody's gonna know what that means, by the way, but basically I'm gonna have more fun. That's the idea of it. And Tiny Arena. Oh boy, this track again. This is one where jumping around the turns is preferred to just drifting around everything. Because if you drift around everything, you won't be able to keep your speed for everything. Wow, I did that really well, considering I didn't drift at all. Of course, with the jumping and attempting to move really quick, I don't need to drift as much around the course. By the way, I believe this jumping trick only works with a speed character, so that means this is an exclusive strategy for speed characters like Dingodile to turn around turns that they would normally run into the wall very easily, which I think is a really nice addition to this game. And it's probably why the speed characters are so busted. Of course, that doesn't mean you can use any other character, too. You could always just change them to speed and they'll have the same results as Dingodile, but I prefer to play the classic way, meaning if I want to use speed, I have to use Dingodile. If I use someone else, I may end up getting a role I don't want, like speed or turn. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just that the turning characters seem to move really slow around some of the turns. Of course. If anything, I probably shouldn't even be using items at all if I'm just gonna hit them every time. I'll need them more when I actually face off against the hard mode CPUs, because I'm going to need them to keep on stopping them, but for easy mode, they're so easy that the only one that would really work are masks and, of course, things that hit them back. Otherwise, it's probably better to just go for no items, just so I don't hit them myself when I go around the track later. Of course, there'll be a chance that random items may get left behind still, so I still have that to worry about, but for the most part, that'll reduce my chances of there being a TNT crate or bottle in my way, which is nice. You get to see Ripperoo's version animation too. This is something you would normally see in Adventure Mode if you were playing on the original game, but since that doesn't appear in this game because they took it out, you only get to see that animation, at least outside of Adventure Mode's Purple Gem Cup, in the regular mode of the game, which I think is really interesting. I kind of wish they did that a little bit better, to be fair, but it is what it is. Thankfully, getting into the cups is much quicker, with the exception of the loading screens, that is. It makes sense, though. Each course takes quite a while to load, so I guess it makes sense, but I will say, though, times can get pretty long sometimes. It's not fun, especially when I have races to do. But hey, that's one of my only complaints. I think this game is still really well made. Nice hop there. Nice ruse tubes there. Very quick. I like that. Alright, let's move on now. I think fiends will become more exciting once we get past this part, because then we'll be out of the CTR tracks and into the Nitro Kart tracks. Crash Nitro Kart tracks. My bad. This game doesn't have a Crash Nitro Kart Adventure Mode, probably for the better, because the Adventure Mode for many people was not the best. That's probably why they don't have it in there, but still have the tracks for people to play on. Which, in my opinion, was definitely a good balance, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know what anyone else thinks about it, though. It depends. I'm leaving that behind at the beginning because everyone's close, so someone's probably gonna hit it, usually. I'm gonna keep this as a backup boost to get my biovac if I mess up. Because I feel like I'm gonna hit something and I don't know what. See, that bottle wasn't there before. That's unfortunately another one of the random elements of this game that you can't control. Wow, lots of random bottles on the road today. So yeah, I'm guessing I can't change that because they always leave random bottles around the road in completely random spots. So just have to do my best to try and avoid them. Now I'll use it. Right at the end too. That was still pretty good though. Didn't have anything till the very end, so that was really good. The easy difficulty will probably balance to kind of a normal setting once we get into chilled. Medium is going to be mostly the same, only the start's going to be a little bit more difficult, but again, when you play good, you can get ahead of the CPUs and no items will come your way. In hard mode, this is probably where things will get interesting, because in hard mode, they're much faster than you this time, and can keep up with you pretty much the entire way through. You have to use the drift trick that I mentioned earlier to get a lot of boost in order to go really fast. Otherwise, you just straight up lose. It's hurtful when played that late. Kind of annoying when played that way. Ooh, we can use this to do a trick. Let's go here. That's a free jump to that, only it's a little too fast, so it's gonna save me some time, but it's overall probably still gonna be faster than the other trick that's done normally. You know what? I'm gonna go for this trick. It's much better than trying to take the stupid turn and fail it. Like, just because Dingodile takes that turn so slow, I'm going to opt for going the shortcut for 3 times in a row. Just depends on when the minecart comes. Okay, screw that. We didn't go the right way. Nice. That ended up being faster than just drifting around the ground, so probably gonna try that from now on whenever I do Dragon Mines as a track. That was a pretty good Dragon Mines. We got a free shortcut off the first trap to the Aku there, or Uka in this case. But we kind of moved a little too fast as a result. I usually expect it to be more on the slow side. The jump over to the side track in particular is pretty difficult. to make it not fall, but even despite it being a fall, it's still faster than taking the other route just because of, one, it takes to get around that turn, and because the respawn just puts you right in the right spot to go straight anyways. So it ends up being faster for speed characters specifically to do that route. And now into Super Speed Ray again. This is one of the tougher tracks, which makes sense why it's in the third cup this time. Despite being in the first World of Adventure mode, it's in the third cup here. Nice, first try. Once again, I got hit by the barrel again. Seems like I'm almost entirely cursed here. Every single time I've done this track so far, I've hit a stinking barrel at least once. I could never figure out where to go properly. In fact, I nearly lost this on easy, I think, the last time I played this. They were behind me just because of how bad I was playing. Okay, at least I got the backup where I didn't get stuck this time. Most of the time, you'll get that. Okay, I'm just really dumb. I literally walked right into that. I should have gone on the right. I'm seriously an idiot sometimes. It's just that you have to make split-second decisions. That was a much better dodge. Just get me out of here. Hitting everything. Of course, that was a random item, so again, nothing I can really do there. It just happened to be in my way. Nice. Really? There was a bottle up there? What are the chances of that? I think it may have been mine, but honestly, I'm kind of surprised the CPU was able to get up there. Okay, we fought that back with a good last lap. That was a good last lap. We actually didn't get hit once on that lap. Kind of wish I wouldn't get hit by the barrels that much. I feel like there's not enough room to evade them, it seems like. I know it can make it work, it's just knowing whether to go left or right is just so hard, especially because they seem a lot wider on here than on the original. On the original, it seems like you had way more space to evade them. It's my only complaint, though, from Serious anyway. That's just because I get hit by them all the time, probably. And the trophies are ours. Nice. Oh, Velo is there as well. In fact, I think those are both CNK bosses. I know one of them is. Well, yeah, I think they are both CNK bosses. Crash and Nitro card bosses, rather. Excuse me. Okay, now on to Crash Cup. And after that, we'll be into the CNK Cups. Did I accidentally press the B button? If I did that, could have been bad, because I'm not sure if that changed my feign back or not, but hopefully it didn't. If not, then, oh well, we're not going to change it now. As long as I still have the same customizations, it'll be good. For the most part. Okay. So, interestingly enough, Slide Coliseum was not one of the Gem Cups. I thought it was, but I think I'm actually wrong. I think it actually appears here instead. Kind of interesting. I kind of don't know why Slide Coliseum and Terrible Track don't appear more frequently. Because they have some really nice tracks for, like, practice. Ooh, we have some really nice skins here. For this race, for some reason, yeah, there's, like, a bunch of other stuff. Ooh. So this boost, again, is probably going to be a backup, so if I lose my red when I need it to do a shortcut because of a mistake, I'm going to use it to get my boost back. Nice. Okay, shortcut 1 down. Just barely evaded that. I kind of just decide between the left or the middle or right at the last second, but I don't like going left on that seal just because of the way it lines up. But okay. Nice. Again, like I mentioned, all of the secrets pretty much require you to use the drifting mechanic, but once you understand how that works, it shouldn't be too hard to get most of them. Oh, barely evaded that seal again. Instead of hitting all of the seals, I'm getting really close and tight finishes where I just barely evade the seals. That's kind of what we want to see, because that means you basically playing perfect. So I'll probably use this on lap 3 to guarantee the shortcut here, but not until after I pass them, I guess. Okay. Okay, it's mid. Okay, so we're gonna use this for safety. There we go. We got the shortcut 3 times in a row. That's probably one of the easier shortcuts to take, just because of how likely you'll have a good drift coming out of it.
Hey, you call that racing?
I just noticed that the game tells you which character is in the race, so yeah, I completely forgot about that. So I guess I can look at those whenever I want to see stuff. So if I forget a character's name, I could just look at the results. But I'm not gonna show that because we'll probably just see the characters later as we go on. There are a couple I might recognize, like Spirals 1 in particular. I would easily recognize because I've played so many of his games that I understand what he looks like, and Hunter as well, which we saw in the first 2 cups we did. Oh, and that's Baby T in the race as well. It's kind of interesting that the Baby T from Crash Free in the levels of all things is a character this game. This game has some very funny characters, and I just like it for that reason. Boost here. Engine's Lab, out of all the races, is probably the easiest race to do the purple boost trick, where you keep the purple boost from one of the bigger speeders all the way to the end. What's this do? Oh, this puts some gold coins around the track. What the heck? Oh, that's Golden Wampa, actually. Wow. So that's Golden Wampa. So I think one of the hints mentioned Golden Wampa, but basically Golden Wampa is most likely a new mechanic to this game because you'll see these golden crates. So if I break them, you'll both get an item and a golden Wampa will start appearing around the track. So let's try and get it and see what happens. Nice, okay. So I'm guessing that what that does is if you get it, you get straight to 10 Wampa at the beginning of the race, which is really cool. That's the first time we got to see that mechanic in play. Definitely really cool. Yet another thing that makes CTR Racing Nitro Field so unique. Of course, those randomly spawn from the golden crates, so it's only have a small chance of being golden as a result, but when they are like that, you can tell, so, and of course they are much more rarer than normal Wampa. You can only get up to 6 Wampa normally for a regular crate, but this barrel as well is kind of tricky to avoid, because you need to figure out whether you should go for all the boost or not. Okay, I'm going to use this. Wow, I actually cut that purple boost all the way to that section. That's what the purple chairs do trick basically does. So if I've mentioned the purple boost trick, if you keep on drifting and getting drift boosts while you have purple fire, you keep the speed boost from that until you run out of it. That's what I mean by if you were to play on the online mode, it'd be kind of tricky because you'd pretty much have to get that and keep it the entire race. But when you do, you move super fast, and control becomes probably the biggest issue there because you're trying to evade all of the items and evade all of the gyres, all while 7 other gyres are trying to hit you with items, and all it takes is one clock, or a lightning bolt, and bam, you are done. Because if you get hit by anything, you lose your purple and have to get it back from the turn where it's available. So, goodness, I got stuck on that car for a second. What was that? Oh man. We're so close I was actually able to hear one of the unique voices. That's the one thing I don't like, that they took out the unique voices of the original game that would play constantly throughout each race. I feel like they removed that a lot. Now the only way to kill more than one race very good is to just play with 4 players and then you'll hear it. But other than that, nothing much else that can be done here. Decent turn with the brake drift and everything. Funny, I didn't even brake drift on even one of these turns because I didn't really need to. It's not until later where I'll need it. It's probably because I learned how to do the it's probably because I learned how to do the brake drift trick a lot better. Well, have to adjust that there so I don't fall off the track like an idiot. I don't mind running into the wall there to lose purple. It's not the best use of it, but hey, at least it's better. Did that CPU just fall off the edge? I took a look at 1 minute and that CPU stopped. He just fell off the edge, didn't he? I will say, some of the CPUs are pathetic in some of the tracks occasionally, but other than that, they're mostly better in this game, but it's I don't really know. It just depends. Woo. Okay, so that's the trick that I mentioned, how that would work. So, you know, I mentioned at one point, there was a time in particular where I could potentially see a little trick feign where potentially I could brake drift around a corner quickly but still keep my boost. That was one of those moments. I brake drift, but I kept my boost because I didn't brake hard enough, so I didn't lose my boost, so I was able to keep going through that entire feign. I'm not sure how it actually works, but I'll probably have to figure that out later because, again, I'll need that for hard mode. Yep, I was right. Side Coliseum is back. And I just noticed Spyro was actually in the race. I barely was able to see it because he was in such an interesting skin that I couldn't tell. But anyways, Slide Coliseum are one of the best races for, as you might have guessed, power sliding. So this is another one of the easier ones to keep fire in, but it is a little bit more tougher than the previous ones, because it seems like it's probably better to do just regular sliding everywhere. But otherwise, it's really good way to practice holding your fire. So as the name suggests, just spam power sliding everywhere. Of course, sometimes hopping around the corners is faster than power sliding for everything, but you do still want to do a little bit of firm sliding. Yeah, I was barely able to see Spyro in that skin. I think whenever they're in like certain particular skins, it's hard to tell. If it was the default skin, then it'd be really easy to tell, but hey, it's fine. I did say Spyro was my ever favorite character, so I may end up switching to him, potentially, but for this playthrough, probably not. It probably will be best to just stick with Dingodile, just because that's the character I like anyway, so that's what I'll be doing for now. And we're about to lap someone again.
Hey, you call that racing?
Okay. Nice. I think we have 2 people actually there. That was nice. Okay.
Dingo, dingo, dingo.
Maybe Dino looks so sad when he loses. Keep in mind, for many people, Baby Dino looks the most like Yoshi in this game, at least. I probably should have mentioned that. I completely forgot that character exists, but I probably won't be playing that because Dingodile just looks a lot cooler in my opinion. But anyway, that is going to be it for today, or at least for this episode, rather. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video as we start with doing the Velo Cup in this game. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.